Alright, so, welcome to Wheel of Fortune and first
Welcome
episode
everybody to Wheel of Fortune.
Let's
We're having
do
a good
this.
time here, and the contestants are
Now,
ready to try
we
and
started
win
off here because,
$1,000
you know, I
in our
wanted
first
something
toss-up.
simple, something that lasts about 15 minutes.
In a toss-up, letters
So
are
here we are,
randomly
we're going to go
revealed on
straight
the
into the
board
toss-up
Proper
round.
name is the
Now,
category.
this is on easy mode, so
And
don't
here we
expect the
go.
AI to do anything particularly right. Okay, here we got some letters.
Player one.
Looks like I think I've got it here. And Paul Simon. Seems reasonable, right? Oh! Fortunately, that was the
player
wrong
two.
Simon. So we lost to the easy AI characters
Let's start
on the
with
first
$1,000.
toss-up.
Player two.
A
Let's
good
move on
round
to the
starting for not
$2,000
Optimus
toss-up.
Prime. So we'll go into toss-up number 2 here.
For our
You
next
saw how
puzzle,
many
the
letters it took
category
for the
is
AI to
landmark.
actually get
Let's go, Vanna.
an answer pick. And so that's going to be a common theme here in easy mode. So here we go.
Okay,
Looks like
player
I've got
one.
it here. And yes, that is Ellis Island. Now, because we're playing on the New York set, a lot of these toss-up clues and some other things are going to be based
Congratulations,
on
well done.
New York. So Ellis Island,
Player one
located
has
just
got the
off of New York,
$2,000,
technically
and they'll
part
be
of New
spinning
Jersey,
shortly. Jim?
but the place where
Welcome
immigrants
to the
would come to the
jackpot
U.S.
round. To win the jackpot, you
in
must
the
land
turn-
on
at
the
the turn of the
jackpot
century.
wedge.
Play this round.
Now, I made a cut here to get under the
Player
15-minute
one,
mark,
it's your turn to start.
but
Let's
now
make
we're
the
into
most
the
of it.
main game. Now, the first round, there's a prize on the board, but otherwise, and the jackpot's out there.
Come on, big money. 600.
And I don't quite get the $2,500 there.
There is an
I'm
N.
going to go for N. Now, the reason I went for N here instead of some other letter, like R or T, that would be more common, is because it was a place. And places often have things like land or town or something like that in them.
Ooh, very
All right,
nice.
we hit Vancouver. Now I'm going to go to a common letter
There you
to
go.
make sure that I grab that. Now,
All
this
right,
gets me a
that
wedge.
is now yours to win.
Now, the thing about the wedge is I only get it if I finish the round with the wedge. So if I hit bankrupt at any point during this next little bit here, I'm going to lose that trip to Vancouver Island and potentially around $5,000. All
$350.
right. Now, at this point, I still really don't have a clue what this is. So,
Oh, sorry.
well, I said that. Actually, I thought the bottom might be something like tower. So what I should have guessed was R, but instead I went W. And I remember I just slipped there. It was, and you can see that the AI character
Go on
here
and pick up that gift card.
smartly went for a common letter that was there. That's not always going to be the case, and I think you're going to see this a lot with the AI characters seem to jump. They'll guess common letters, but not the most
800.
common letter. So,
No, next
like
time.
this time she guessed D. There's no reason to guess D with L and S still on the board. So now it's AI number 3's
550.
first go at it.
Yes, there
And you can see
is
that they're a little bit
an S.
smarter about how they're handling this. Now we've got the TR on the bottom, and I'm thinking maybe
There
it's
is
trail,
an E.
maybe it's a train, or trace. You know, any one of those options.
Yes, there is an A.
And now I'm getting closer and closer to liking trail as the answer for the bottom. So let's see what happens here. Now it can be kind of scary when the computer gets these big rolls, but usually they don't take advantage of those. I don't know if the Easy AI particularly tries to fail at those, but you won't see them get those a lot. Alright, we avoid the
900.
bankrupt here,
There
and
are two of those.
you can see that I definitely was going trail versus track, so I went C. Now I know exactly what's going
have
on
the
here,
solution then,
and this is a
player one.
scenic trail, so I'm just going to go around and get the I's, and there's the L right there.
There you go.
Alright,
our
that
next
allows me to pop the
category.
wedge, which gave me some more money, and I
Player
skipped
two
again. I
is
tried to
all
fit this in
poised
15
and
minutes,
ready
it
to
didn't work.
spin.
So now we're doing things. This is the mystery round with the gray wedge. It can either be worth
Keep it going.
$10,000 or bankrupt when you hit it. Don't worry about that for the moment. Now, whenever a clue in Wheel of Fortune is plural, the first letter you should go for is S. Okay, that's basically a free letter that they're giving you. Now, the AI
300.
character did not do that, but again, this is
Sorry.
easy AI mode. In fact, our next AI character went for C, which is an even sillier yesterday. So now I'm going to be able to take advantage of that S.
500.
Even if there's only one of them, it's
There must
guaranteed
be
to
some
be
S's.
there.
How many?
And in this case, there are 3 of them.
Yeah.
So that gives me some free money, but it doesn't really help me as far as trying to figure out what's going on with the puzzle yet.
500.
So I'm going to go for another common letter. In this case, we're
must
going
be
to go
some
for
R.
R, which
How
is the
many?
most common consonant in the English language.
Yeah.
And you can see a little more definition here. Maybe universe is
400.
in one or both of the little things.
3.
But, I was kind of stuck on the word universe at this point. I was sort of trying to get away from it. But here you see N, which, if you look at my player profile, which I'm not going to tell you, N is my preferred letter. It just happens to be the one that I pick the most.
Come on, big money.
It is not necessarily the letter you should go for in every puzzle.
Yep, we got 3.
All right, so I'm still doing
Let's get
common
those up
letters, and
there.
at this point, I have figured out what this thing is. Okay, I figured out that the bottom word is instruments, and the top word looks like it has string.
Okay,
so now I just
go
need to
for
figure
it,
out how
player
to
one.
extend string out, which I did there, and it's stringed instruments.
Congratulations, well done. You solved the puzzle, you got yourself some cash, you're doing great. The category.
And again,
And
another
it's a prize
jump
puzzle.
here.
Look at that.
And this is the prize
Player
round.
three,
Now, the
you'll
prize
start
round
this
means
round.
that at the end of the round, you're going to get an additional bunch of money associated with the trip.
900.
So you absolutely want to
You know
get
what?
the prize
There's
puzzle.
none of those.
Even if you
Sorry.
don't have much money on hand in your box right at that moment, you want to make sure that you win the prize puzzle because you will get the
600.
prize value, and that'll be
You
plenty
got
of
it.
money in the end. And you can see I went for in here. Now this is because the category is what are you doing? And in that one, there's almost always an ing word at the top. So there are 2 free letters
500.
basically that you can guess. First one being N and the
There
second
is
being
a
G. You know they're going to be there. Of course, you don't know how many extras there might be. So here I'm going to spin,
You can stop anytime.
and I'm going to run afoul
Player
of
one,
bankrupt.
you got the bankrupt.
Now, there is a way to sort of manipulate the wheel. When you spin the wheel, if you can get it right in the middle of the wheel gauge, which if I get back
Keep
control,
going.
we'll go over again.
Choose a letter in the puzzle to pick
If
up
you get it
that
right in the
wild
middle,
no
you should
tell.
end up back exactly where you were. A little bit less than that, and you'll end up
This could
not
be good for you.
almost where you were. A little bit more than that, you'll end up back further than where you were. And so, based on what you're looking at, you can try to figure out how much to spin the wheel that way. I do not remember if it's more punitive at
This
medium or
could be
hard
good
mode.
for you.
When we get there, I'll definitely keep my eye out for that.
Yes, there is an S.
All right, so here we've got what are you doing? So we know that ends in
That half
ing.
bar can be yours to win if you solve the
Unfortunately, it's
puzzle.
not running. So this was like a hard one for me to sort of figure out because there's definitely a vowel next to that
We got
N,
2
and I'm not sure what it is.
Let's get those
Now,
up there.
fortunately, my friends bought E's. Vowels cost money. Every time you want to buy a
Next
vowel,
time.
it'll cost you $2.50. It's helpful for you. In fact, you can see the puzzle, but it's also probably more helpful for your opponents. And you
Player
can see
one
that I've
is choosing
figured
to
things
solve
out here.
the
Now,
puzzle.
because it's a prize puzzle, I'm going right away with the solve. There's actually a letter that there were 2 of that I could have potentially spun to try to get money for. But I decided the risk wasn't worth it here.
Yeah,
and boom.
congratulations.
Renewing our vows. A very nice,
Let's not forget this was also
which
a
I think is
prize
kind of a
puzzle.
neat thing for
What do
married
we have,
couples
Jim?
to do.
Player one,
Obviously, you need to wait a little while
food
before
and
you do
drink
that.
is our next category. Let's go, Vanna.
And so once again, we cut, and this is the third toss-up. So, okay, at this point, I understand what the two words are,
Player 1.
but this is something that I'm not personally familiar with. Never had a cocktail meatball,
You got it.
so I really
that toss-up was
just
player
sort of
1,
looked at it
and
and
they're
thought,
going to give that
well,
wheel a spin.
oh no.
Proper name
so
is
we,
the category.
We move on to the final puzzle.
There's our
The
puzzle,
final
and
puzzle
here goes
is a
player
proper
1.
name. Now, for the final puzzle, you only get 3 turns, or 3 actions before he goes into the final spin.
300.
And
There are 2.
so I'm going to try to get what money I can, or what letters I can here, because once we go into the final spin, it's one at a time, one letter at a time, and you don't have nearly the amount of control of the board as you do right
800. Yes, there
now. Right,
is
so I
an
went for
S.
N, and then I went for some S's. The reason I did this is that proper name sometimes is
Let's have your
a
vowel, player 1.
group of people,
2.
or it's sometimes an actual name. Like, it could have been Matt Damon, or something like that, or it could have been the Washington Redskins. Either of those would have been
It's my turn to spin. I'll ask you
possible
to give me a letter.
proper
It's in the
names.
puzzle. You'll have 15 seconds to solve it.
Thank
Vowels
goodness,
worth nothing. Consonants worth $1,000
It
plus.
wasn't one of those. But at this point, I'm still not exactly sure what it is. There's a lot of N's and E's, and they're not in particularly good positions.
800.
So
We need a letter
I
from
was
you,
thinking
player
maybe
1.
sort of Tennessee, or maybe sort of Universal.
You got it.
So I knocked out that R there. And again, I'm thinking, I'm still
Player
kind of in
2.
the frame of
There
universal.
are 2 of those.
The word university doesn't hit me until probably about right now, when the other person guessed the T. Okay.
Player 3.
AI characters really don't,
Yes, there is
particularly on the easy
an
mode, don't
A.
just jump out and try to
Vowels
solve
can be useful,
things.
even though they aren't worth anything.
So if you know what it is, and at this point I do,
Player 1.
you're pretty safe until they have a lot of letters up
There
there.
must be some B's.
And you can
How
see
many?
that
Now you have 15
I knew it
seconds
was Vanderbilt
to try
because
to
I went
solve
for the
the
V,
puzzle.
which there would have been 2 letters of.
Player
Nothing
1
else
is choosing to
would have
solve the puzzle.
had 2 letters. I could have guessed Y or L and have gotten 1 letter. But there she is, the
You got it.
alma mater of
All right.
some
you
people
won
I know.
Some more money.
Got a couple
You're
people
in first
at
place
Vanderbilt
here, so
right
you'll be
now,
moving on to the bonus round.
but the private school in Nashville,
You ended up in second place, but still with a tidy
Vanderbilt
sum there.
University, the Commodores.
Third place, but you still played
They
quite well.
called the Commodores because of Mr. Vanderbilt, whose nickname was the Commodore, not because of any association with the Navy.
Okay, I've got your envelope.
So now we're in the
okay,
final
everybody.
puzzle.
Thing is the category for
Category
our
is
next puzzle.
thing.
R S T L
And we can get our letters
N E.
here.
Are there any of those up there, Vanna?
Now,
All right,
initially
you need to
looking at
provide us
this,
with 3 more
this
consonants
didn't scream
and a
anything
vowel.
to me. And so what I initially did is I initially went with letters that are fairly that are the next most likely to be seen. So you'll see me throw M and C up there, just because I'm looking for something to go on. So there's C, there's M, and when I'm looking at whether or not to use P or D as my next letter, that's when I start to figure out that the bottom word is phone, and the top word then must be mobile. So now you can see me change my letter selections. I've got the M and the B from mobile, got the P from phone now, and I can only get 1 vowel, so I'm going to go for the O, because there are 2 of those in mobile phone.
Let's see those letters. All right, you have 80 seconds to work
And now I'm
this
just
out.
going to fill her
Good
out,
luck.
and luckily we're going to get the
What
win.
a win. Let's see what's in the envelope.
So, good deal for us.
Your stock is rising.
We add $25,000 to our carry. We are now done with the New York stage and easy mode. So again, start spreading the news, because we're going actually away from New York, when we take on medium mode next episode.